Okay, good morning, everyone. Thank you for coming. Welcome to Memorial and welcome to this event today. My name is Lynn Gambin. I'm in the Department of Economics here at Memorial, and I'll be your chair for the day. Before we begin, I would like to respectfully acknowledge the territory in which we gather as the ancestral homelands of the Beothuk and the island of Newfoundland as the ancestral homelands of the Mi'kmaq and the Beothuk. I would also like to recognize the Inuit of Nunatsiavut and Nunattukavut and the Innu of Natasinun and their ancestors as the original people of Labrador. We strive for respectful relationships with all the peoples of this province as we search for collective healing and true reconciliation and honor this beautiful land together. So thank you again for coming. Just a few housekeeping items I wanted to state at the beginning. We don't have any evacuation drills or fire alarms planned, so if you do hear an alarm sounding, just please make your way to the nearest exit, which are just behind you where you would have come in this morning. Bathrooms, washrooms are just out the door, up a couple of steps to your right and down the hallway a little ways. I do ask that you please put your cell phones or any other mobile devices, if you could, switch them off, but if not, just switch them to silent, please, to avoid any interruptions. We've got regular breaks and refreshments provided throughout the day, and they'll be outside where you were served your coffee this morning and where you came in. So please take full advantage of that. We want to all stay nice and alert throughout the day. I do ask you, we're a couple of minutes behind this morning already, but we want to stay on time as much as we can to make sure everybody gets an equal amount of time and we're not too pressed for questions at the end of each presentation. So I do ask you at the end of every break if we could promptly get back into the room and ready to begin again. We'll start, so get back in if you want to see everything. So the format for today is that we've got a great lineup of our speakers. Each speaker is going to have 30 minutes in which they'll present and give their perspectives on the issues we're talking about. If you have a question at the end, we've got 15 minutes allocated for each speaker to take questions. If you've got a question, we ask you to put your hand up, make yourself known to me, and we'll get a microphone to you. And it's essential. We're being live broadcast right now on our websites with the help of CITL here at MUN. So it's essential for our viewers at home or in their offices or elsewhere that we all speak into microphones if we want to be heard. So I do ask you just to wait for a microphone to get to you. If you're on Twitter today, if anyone's tweeting, using the hashtag NLHealthcare would be really great. And if you could tag in at care_MUN or at MUN_econ, that would be fabulous as well, so we can keep track and we can also be part of the conversation. So thank you again to everyone for coming today. We've had a lot of interest and we weren't surprised at that. We think today is a great starting point for opening up some open, honest, and frank conversations about what we need to do about health and healthcare in our province. We hear it in the media on a daily basis. We heard it this morning. We hear it, I said it myself yesterday on the radio. We hear that we have problems with health and healthcare in the province. We spend more per capita than any other province in the country, and we don't have the great health outcomes that you might expect for a high-cost healthcare system. And things don't look like they're going to get any better on their own with an aging population and a potentially shrinking population, with fiscal challenges and growing demands on the services that healthcare provides. We only will see things worsen if we don't start to take some action to do things a little bit differently. So today's forum is really intended, like I said, to be a starting point, to open up a conversation about what's happening in health and healthcare in our province and how we can move forward as a society, really, to deal with that. And I do want to highlight my own perspective as well, is that it's about health. It's not about healthcare, even though healthcare is in the largest letters on our slide. It's not just about healthcare. Healthcare is only one input into making people healthy and having a healthy society, but it is an important part of it. And healthcare itself is an important service in our society and helps with our communities. So the reality we face is that we're under a lot of pressure, and we want to look at how we can achieve the best outcomes for the lowest cost, I suppose, as an economist, that would sound about right. So what do we do about healthcare? What do we do about health? What can we afford is the practical question that we need to ask alongside of that. So as a department, the Department of Economics is really looking forward to using today as a starting space or a starting place for us to think about where we might have gaps in understanding and where our research can help to fit in with that. And we can help develop the evidence base for policy change, policy design, governance, and just help the public with understanding the issues that are at hand and that are important. So we have a fabulous lineup of speakers today, and I have to say that they all enthusiastically, I think that's a fair way to describe it, we're enthusiastic to be a part of today. And I think that says something very good about where we are at the moment. We are going to hear each speaker individually, so we often hear from each of our speakers today on a separate basis about what's going on in healthcare. So today we've got them all in a room speaking at different times, and everybody has the same amount of time and the same format in which they can put their perspectives forward. So it's a unique opportunity, I think, for us today to start an open, honest discussion about taking us forward to improvements in health and improvements in healthcare that will help get us there for the people of this province. So at this time, I would like to introduce Dr. Gary Katz, the president of Memorial University, to also welcome you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Gambin. Good morning, everyone. It is indeed my pleasure to welcome you all to Memorial University and to St. John's campus and this important forum on health outcomes and the health of our province. In particular, I want to offer special greetings to the Honourable Dr. John Hagee, Minister of Health and Community Services. Minister, it's always a pleasure to have you on campus. You're here a lot, but your continued support for our medical school and university is certainly appreciated, and there is something special about a university that has a medical school and its special relationship with both the government and the healthcare delivery systems, and so thank you for being here today. I also extend a warm welcome to all other thought leaders who are here today from the other health associations and care providers and others. Thank you for taking your time out of your busy schedules to share your thoughts and insights with everyone here today. As Dr. Gambin noted, today's forum is intended to be an open and honest discussion about healthcare delivery and its challenges in our province. I'm biased, of course, but I think it's appropriate that this discussion is happening here at our university, a place where open and respectful and honest dialogue form the basis for teaching, research, and innovation, and where differences of opinion and approach can and often do lead to important insight, approaches, and new discoveries, and we hope that that happens here today. A good idea can happen anywhere, but sometimes the place where it takes root can play a major role in whether or not it is able to reach its full potential. And of course, the university is a place with creative density and lots of talented people and a cultural challenging ideas and advancing knowledge and mobilizing that knowledge for the benefit of individuals, communities, and governments. And so we're so pleased to have all of you here today. As Sandra Gwynn noted when receiving her honorary degree, and I quote, "Here at Memorial, there is curiosity informed by a sense of context, a community of scholars that, in a way few other universities have been able to achieve, draws its own particular excellence from its deep roots in its own community," unquote. In other words, our faculty and staff and students both draw their strength from and reflect the needs of the community around us. And that synergy leads to innovative ideas that can have local significance and global impacts. That's why Memorial's mission recognizes public engagement as a strategically important part of everything that we do. We encourage collaboration between groups within Memorial and people in groups external to the university, and that all of that together will further Memorial's mission and hopefully help us fulfill our special obligations to the people of this great province. And of course, that's who will lead the discussions and the debates here today: Memorial researchers, external partners who have dedicated themselves to improving healthcare in this province. As the array of speakers exemplifies, government, healthcare professionals and organizations, and community partners all coming together to find solutions for improved healthcare delivery. Certainly, everyone in this room has been or will be affected by the things that will be discussed here today. We all have a stake in the decisions made, and hopefully Memorial will be able to offer its expertise to help take the next steps forward. Before concluding, I would like to thank CARE for recognizing the need to bring everybody together in an open and honest debate. I wish you all the best as you begin your deliberations here today and have a successful, productive day. And I want to thank Dr. Gammon for her role as the chair and emceeing all day. Thank you very much and welcome.